beautiful people, it's nice to have you here today. I'm Blessing, and on this channel I share every good thing about faith, lifestyle, personal development and my life in the UK. In today's video I'll be sharing with you how I passed the Life in the UK test and some tips and tricks that I wish I knew before I took the exam. So if you're about to write the test, you definitely do need to hang around because you need the information I'm going to share with you today. I passed. So today I wrote my Life in the UK test and I've passed. I've passed, and that's done and dusted. I passed my exams. I am so excited. I feel relieved. The tension and pressure of trying to practice, prepare for this exam, making sure I don't go back to write it the second time because, oh boy, it's £50, but that is a lot of money. I don't want to go back the second time, so I need to prepare. This was my mindset when I wanted to write the Life in the UK test. If you've been in the UK for over 5 years as a dependent to a British person, or yeah, that is my own situation. I have been a dependent to a British spouse, so after 5 years, now qualified to apply for an indefinite leave to remain in the United Kingdom, and also after which one I can now apply for the British citizenship. So part of the application, you need to show that you appreciate the British culture, the custom, the pop culture and the history. One of the ways you can display this is through the Life in the UK test. So that's where the test comes in. The Life in the UK test allows you to show your commitment to the British custom, their history and their pop culture. Life in the UK test is multiple choice examination, so you've got about 45 minutes to answer 24 questions, and out of those 24 you need to pass a minimum of 18 questions. So you need to get 18 questions or 75% score. The test is not free. It costs £50 for each time you take the test, and when you pass the test, that's the one-off. You write the test. You don't write it anytime you need to make an application. You only write it when you only write it once. In a case you fail the test, which that's why I'm making this video so you don't fail, is you have to pay another £50 to rewrite another test. You need to pass with a score of 75% or 18 out of 24. They really don't tell you what questions you missed. They only just tell you the number of questions you missed. So you kind of like see what you've done, but you don't know which one you missed in case you missed anyone. Also, on completion of your exam, I got straight away a reference number, a unique reference number that was sent to my email address. So with that reference number, that is what you can input in any of your application, either your indefinite leave to remain or either your citizenship application. What makes this test quite difficult and challenging is because it's quite tricky. The way the questions are asked is quite tricky, so you need a proper in-depth understanding of the culture, the custom, the history of the British people for you to be able to pass this exam. And people find it quite difficult because you have to put some things to memories. You have to put some dates. You have to know the exact lines of some things. So it really has to do with a lot of memory work, which as a parent, for me, I found it quite tricky. I found it quite difficult because I didn't have the much time I needed to be able to do some practice. I definitely needed some support. So my number one top advice would be to get the Life in the UK test manual. So there's a manual, an official manual from the government website, where I will put the link down in this description. So that link, you can go directly and purchase the book. You can have it as a soft copy, as a software, or you can have the paper copy. The paper copy, you can get it from Amazon. I will try and look for the link and post them down in my in the description. So that's the first trick. You need to read the manual. You need to go through from the beginning to the end. of that manual. One of the key things that worked out for me was that I made use of lots of practice questions. These practice questions are there to give you a kind of guideline to what the actual question will be. They are not always the same, but they are very, very close. So from the questions I practiced, out of 24, I think I missed one, and that one was very new to me, so that was the only one I missed. Aside that, I passed the rest questions, and I think that is good enough. So let's go to the materials I used to prepare. I booked my exam quite early. I booked it about April 2022, and I kept on postponing it. I kept on moving it forward because honestly, I had so many things I was onto that I didn't have the chance to do it. But I just booked it so I can have it at the back of my mind that I needed to take the exam. But I kept on postponing it. But when I actually got to the time where I couldn't postpone it anymore, I thought, okay, no, this is the time I'm gonna do it. So I booked for that particular day, and I totally forgot. I totally forgot until 1 week to the time, and when I looked at it, I remembered on a Friday, and I had it for the following Friday. So I'm like, oh my goodness, that this is the time I need to do it. I can't postpone it anymore. So yeah, I need to go and do some reading. But I had only 1 week to make my preparation, so I said, oh no, I need something to help me through this process. And yeah, I went online and checked out. I already have the manual. So yeah, reading the manual, I had read the manual before, but I just read it like a breeze. I didn't really put to mind, I didn't really keep things in memory. So I needed more practice question, and I needed an environment that kind of simulates what the exam will look like. So yeah, some of the link, I'm going to put the links down below so you can check out those links. I followed those links, and there is this particular website that has loads and loads of questions, and my advice would be for you to go through all of the questions. So they have about 16 sections of practice exam questions, and they have about 40 sections of practice test. So I will advise for you to take both the practice test and the practice exam. I did majorly focus more on the exams, and I must say that those questions came out real good. In the examination, I had 2 questions that I haven't seen before, and I was able to answer one correctly because I missed one. So that's good. Out of 24, I had 23, and I only did not know 2. So that's a good feedback. You can do it on your computer, you can do it on your phone. It's very handy. It's just you click, it shows you if you're right or not, and then you move on to the next question. If you keep practicing these questions for a number of times, you will get to memorize them and keep them in memory. When you see the questions, most times the questions don't come exactly the way these practice questions are. They kind of twist the words, so you need to read and understand what the question is. That's another advice. Make sure you read and understand the question, because by the time you see it in the exam, probably they might have added not in a question, but the one you practice is. So let's say what is. Now they will now ask you what is not, so you need to be very attentive when you're reading. One more advice that I would give is for you to practice as many practice questions you could lay your hands on, and that's why I'm advising on this particular website, where you get lots and lots of questions. Practice these questions and you come out smiling at the end of the day. So you can get the manual, either the soft copy, which you can have on your computer. I don't think it works on phone, but you can have on your computer. If you have to use it on your phone, I think you need Adobe Reader to be able to use it on your phone. But yeah, you can get the software. That is the official document, and that's the one I would recommend for you to buy. There are other applications, there are other people who have made it into software apps and tell you to buy those ones. I do not recommend those ones. This particular one is from the government website. Before you start reading, take your time to go through the practice question. Just do whatever you think you can, even if you're gonna score 0 out of the total numbers there. Just do it. It kind of gives you an idea of what you should focus on when you start reading. So if you dive in and just start reading and don't go into the practice question, it's like diving into an open sea, because there are so many information flying about and you kind of find it difficult to lay your hands on which one you need to know. So I will strongly advise that you take your time, do the practice question behind the books, and then go back to reading the book from the beginning to the end. Putting all this together, I was able to pass my exam on my first try. How I did it is how I've just explained to you. I read the book from the beginning to the end. Then I did a lot of practice questions from these other websites. They are totally free. I didn't get to pay any amount. I did all of their exam questions. I did all of their test questions. And I must say they are really good resources for you to practice. You need that environment. You need to simulate that environment so you can prepare your mind towards the actual exam. And that was what this platform provided for me, and I think it's very helpful. It was very useful for me, and that's why I'm sharing the good news with you. If you find this video really useful, kindly remember to like and subscribe on my channel, because I'll be bringing you lots and lots of information. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. I wish you a very good luck in your exam, and remember to buy the book and practice the questions. Alright, that's all for me today. I wish you good luck. Thanks. Bye.